Okay, so what we're doing now is we're working on the head here. And being inside is a little bit easier because it's less messy, and if I drop something on the ground, usually I can find it as opposed to the garage, which is a mess. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put on the valve springs and compress them with the C-clamp compressor, which is right here. So I put on all the intake ones already because those valves were already lapped because I had to take them over to machine shop and replace the guides. I think you could probably see it better on this. No. I had to replace the guides. So they're brand new guides that are in there because they were very loose. Just the intake side, just the hot side. The exhaust side was fine. That was within spec and that was okay. So the thing on the exhaust valves is I had to lap those, and because I forgot to mark them when like which cylinder they went to when I put them in bags originally when I took the engine apart. It was just an oversight on my part. And so I tried to find the best fit for each cylinder, and then I went ahead and lapped them. And with the lapping, I just used the regular lapping compound that everybody has at your auto zones. And when you do the lapping, don't put it directly on the valve because it's not the lapping part that takes a long time, it's the cleaning that takes a long time of all the lap material, because you don't want those little rocks that are in the valve grinding compound to get into the cylinder or maybe into the valve and grind the guide down maybe faster than it should. So that takes quite a bit of time. So when you do it, here, I'll take a valve out and I'll show you. I'm gonna put this on my head here. So when you do it, go ahead and find an additional space or a piece of plastic, and then just put the valve compound just on the seat like this. You should probably have a pair of gloves on. And then it makes it a lot easier for two reasons. First, it's a lot less to clean up and you concentrate on seating the valve correctly. But the other thing is when you use the actual lapper, no valve compound gets on the top of the valve, so it allows the valve lapper to, or the lapping tool to stick a lot better to the top of the valve. So you're gonna it's just gonna take a lot less time, it's gonna be a much cleaner job, and it's ultimately a lot better. So that's just my advice on lapping. And there's 100 videos on valve lapping, so I'm not gonna add one here. Okay, so what we do now is we have already installed the seat, which is this part right here, and we've installed the valve guide seal, which is right here. You should get new valve guide seals whenever you do this, just because they're inexpensive, they're easy to replace. The other thing that I've done is I've increased the displacement of the motorcycle to an 836 from a 750. And in that kit from Dynamin Performance, which does a really great job and has great products, is number DPVS040813. And what that is it's a new set of valve springs. So the kit comes with 4 items. It comes with pistons to increase the displacement, larger pistons. I think the spec is like 61 millimeter pistons, and these are like 65 millimeter diameter pistons. So they're larger pistons, but they fit in the existing cylinder sleeve. But I had to bore out the cylinder anyway, so it just made sense to go to the higher displacement because I had to go to the second over to the third over. So I think that's like 61.5 centimeters to 61.75 centimeters. So it just made sense to, because I had to bore it anyway, let's just bore it to a higher displacement. So so it comes with the cam, it comes with the pistons, because the cam is required because it's got to have a longer duration for the larger pistons, and it comes with new valve springs, and it also comes with a new head gasket for the larger piston. So I'm installing the new valve springs. So the only thing that are new here is the guides on the exhaust side, all the seals, and the springs. So there's an inner spring and an outer spring. It goes on like that, and then it gets seated like this. And then what you have is you have these guys here, which are holders for the spring. So this spring is out, and this spring is compressed. And the reason why we have it compressed is because these little guys do the compression. I forget what they're called. And I don't have the book turned to the right page, so I'm not gonna be able to tell you. Okay. So then what you do is you take your C-clamp compression tool, you move to the edge of your table or your work surface. And I drop that. That's not the first time I've done that. And you go ahead and start the compression here. I like to do it from underneath the actual spinning part because it doesn't put any force this way, which will, you know, spin it off center of the hat at the top of the valve spring. So I think I've compressed it adequately. I really like to use a pair of tweezers to do this, which I have over here, with the rest of my wife's nail stuff. And then you use the tweezer to just drop it inside. There you go, that one dropped. And then this is the second one. Okay, so those are dropped in. Then you can use a pick to kind of move them around so they sit fairly evenly inside here. That looks fairly even. And then you just re-engage the springs by loosening the C-clamp. Okay. That's it. So that one is installed, done. So I'm going to show you some other items just while I've got you here, because it doesn't make sense to, I don't want you guys to have to see that because it's just going to take a really long time. So there's some other items. In your gasket kit should come these little rubber seals. They go in here. Then there are 6 dowels that go here, there, 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 and right there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take that one back out. Wait, I felt it move. I don't really like that one in there like that. There it goes. Yeah, this one's a little nicked up. I think I'm going to use another one. I think I'm going to use this one. This one might be nicked up too. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that one in there softly because I like them to be in a little bit better than that. I don't want to just like cram them in because then I'll never be able to take them out. Now you have 2 oil orifices. And you got to make sure that they're clean. So I cleaned this with brake cleaner earlier so I can see through this hole right here. And then there's 2 holes right there that I can see through. And then there's 2 holes that are right there I can see through. That goes in right here. And you see that drops down. And then there's a little O-ring that goes on over it. This one I have the O-ring on already, so I'm just going to drop that one in. So there are your oil orifices right there. Then it's got 2 other O-rings. I believe they go in right here because that's about the same size as the oil orifice. And then I think everything else is for either the cylinder studs or other bolts that's going to bolt the cover on. But that's it. All I have to do is install these additional guides or these additional spring sets, and I should be finished with the head and get ready for other bolting. Let's go ahead and check the drawing now that I have it here in front of me. See if we got everything. Okay, so number 12 are the studs. Those are already installed, so we don't have to worry about those. 21 are bolts, 11 are bolts. So I'm not going to worry about those right now. We've got some nuts and some washers that I'm not going to worry about right now until I actually mount it onto the cylinders. But we did get number 16, which are these rubber seals. There are 6 of them. Boom, those are done. Then number 6 are the orifices for the oil control. Those are both installed. There's 2 of them. We installed the O-rings. There's another 15 O-ring. And sometimes you gotta check because it only shows 3 on the drawing here, but you go down to number 15 and it shows 4. So this is the more important number here, not what's going on in the drawing. The drawing is just a representation. It doesn't show all the parts. So that's got that O-ring, and it's in that general area over here. I mean, that's for a cylinder stud for sure. And this is for a dowel, and none of the other dowels have O-rings, so I think that should be okay, and all the dowels look the same. There would be an O-ring cut out if a dowel had to go there. I think it actually goes right there where I've got it. And I think that's it. So we've got number 19, which are the 6 8-pin dowels, 8x14mm. We've got the orifice, we've got all 4 O-rings, so we should be fine. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it, and keep on watching.